Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we had begun with a new topic, diverse natural resources of the world. Now, when we hear of this word natural resources, right, two types of resources come in our mind, biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic, the one which we derive from living things, and abiotic, the one which we derive from non living things. Land, soil, water are the resources which belong to abiotic resources and are the most important resources, whereas natural vegetation and wildlife sources come under biotic resources. Either biotic or abiotic, both type of resources are exhaustible in nature. So, judicial use of these resources has to be there for enhancing their longevity, meaning we can use it for a longer run. We can use our resources for a longer duration of time. Therefore, we should use it judiciously. Now, land as a resource we have already discussed, and today we'll be talking about the uses of land. Now, land use refers to the use of land for different purposes such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, and setting up of industries. Factors affecting land use are of two kinds: physical factors and human factors. Physical factors include topography, soil climate, and availability of water. Human factors include population and technology. Now, meaning. Meaning means how physical and human factors. Now, if you remember this line, land is among the most important natural resources. Now, if we consider the entire globe, 30% area of the earth's surface is covered with land. Rest 70% is covered with water. Now, if we talk about the use of land, 90% of the total land available, 90% of the total population, right? 90% of the world's total population, it occupies only 30% of the total land available. 90% of the total world's population occupies only 30% of the total available land. Remaining 70% is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. It's sparsely populated because of the geographical conditions, might be because of the climate, right? The climate is not suitable for humans to survive. Might be other resources which are necessary for survival are not available. Might be the land is not fit for agriculture. Might be the climate is not suitable. The climate is not supporting any kind of vegetation, right? So now you can justify this line. Factors affecting land use are of two kinds: physical factors and human factors. Means the use of land. Now, how come physical factors? Might be the climate is not suitable, might be other resources such as water is not available, might be the soil is not fertile, might be humans, right? They do not have appropriate technology to make that particular portion of land, to bring that particular portion of land into use. Now, on the basis of ownership, land can be classified as private and community land. Land use refers to the Now, private land is owned by an individual or family members and is used for personal purposes, like house is a private land. Community land is owned by the community for common uses and can be used by anyone in the society, like collection of fodder, fruits, nuts, or medical herbs. These community lands are also called community property resources. Means the land which is used by a community and the people living in that community have an access to it, right? For example, there is, a garden of, you can say, like, there is a garden, and the garden, there is a garden, and the garden, there is a community park, and the community park has, it has been planted with a lot of medicinal herbs. So all the people living in that particular community will have access to those medicinal herbs. The demand for land by the people is growing, but the availability of land is limited. The vast changes in the land use pattern shows the cultural changes in our society. Land degradation, land slides, soil erosion, desertification are the major threats to the environment because of the expansion of agriculture and construction activities. Fertile land is exploited more and leads to the barrenness if not utilized judicially. Exploited means, the way, these artificial fertilizers are being added up. These chemical fertilizers are being added up to increase the production of crop. Why? Because the population is increasing and so is the demand, but the land is limited. Now we have to produce maximum from the available land only. So what is happening to increase the production? These HYV seeds are being used, high yielding variety seeds, which increase the production 3 times. Apart from that, to increase the fertility, what we are doing, we are using chemical fertilizers. These chemical fertilizers somewhere are destroying the natural fertility of the soil. The overexploitation of mineral resources also make the soil vulnerable to degradation. Of this mining process, this digging up of the this digging up of the earth to extract the minerals. Now what is happening when we do this mining process for for digging up the minerals, for digging up the metals which are available, right? These iron ores are there, these aluminium ores are there, right? What we have to do, we dig up the earth. And when we dig up the earth, when we do this mining activity, again chemicals are used. We destroy the nearby the biodiversity of the nearby area is destroyed, and thus the quality of land is also destroyed. And the land is also degraded to an extent that it is not fit for cultivation. Now this is a map showing the division of land, right? Arable land means the agricultural land, right? The land which is under agriculture, that is your yellow portion. Then your forest, non-agricultural land, plantation, right? Scrubs and grasses which are there, and unproductive land. Now if you talk about your unproductive land, these are your unproductive land, right? So this is the map which is showing the land use map of India. Go through this map very carefully. Go through the slides once again. If any query is there, you can raise your questions on your WhatsApp group. Thank you.